afternoon, my MPP peeps. We got an ugly, ugly close. It looked like this thing was going to turn around in the middle of the day, but then the last hour, we sold off. So we are right back. If you look, this is the futures, the ES. So these are the March lows. Touched this trend line right here, touched this trend line right here, and we're touching this trend line once again. We break this trend line and it could spell trouble. I think we could head all the way down to this previous breakout point of 3,600, possibly the 200 SMA, which currently sits at 3,440. So the bulls need to come in here in force to get this thing back above the 10 SMA and back trending higher. Look at the SPX. Let's look at it quickly. We came down and touched the 0.236 retrace right at 37.89. The 0.236 was 37.81. Touched the uptrend line since the March lows. Okay, so we get through that 37.81. It could be, let me draw the 0.382. You got 36.76, then you got the 0.5 at 35.92, and then you got the 0.618 at 35.07, which is right at the 200 SMA. So bulls need to come in here and hold this trend line, because if we get below it, we could be in some real trouble heading down to this 3,600, 3,500 level. So next week's going to be a pretty important week as far as trend goes. So we're in danger. We're in that danger zone of losing at least the short-term trend and coming back down here and testing some of these lower levels. You go to the Qs look even uglier. Just an ugly bear flag forming here. Big volume on the sell. We finished red. Well, we actually finished green today, but sold off towards the end of the day. Just that this is a very stereotypical bear flag that, if resolves to the downside, I think we see this 297. If 297 doesn't hold this support level right here, we go down to 200 SMA, which is at 282 right now. So we could be in for a bigger drop if the bulls can't come in here and support this 310. So next week's going to be crucial. You look at the VIX. It was red today, but it recovered. It recovered and finished near in the upper third of the candle yesterday, above the 200 SMA. So still very much there is some lingering fear. Okay, even though we're not at the highs of the VIX, there's still some lingering fear here because we did not finish. What we've been doing is we're seeing spikes and then selling off, spike and then selling off. But today the sell-off tried to happen, but then the bulls came back in, fear came back in, and we finished near the highs, or in the upper range of this candle, yesterday's candle. So fear is not washed out yet, so we need to keep that in mind. Like I said, next week is important. We'll continue to watch this VIX. As far as names goes, I mean, we were stopped out of so many names, and that's what happens that's what happens when the market decides to do something you weren't expecting. We were expecting this thing to head higher. We closed above the 10 SMA on Wednesday. All looked well. Looked like we were going to resume the uptrend. We started to get long some names, and whoosh. Okay, that happens. That happens, and you just have your risk management in place. You have your rules in place that stop you out and prevents deeper losses. Okay, you definitely get. You definitely feel it, and it doesn't feel good, but It's better to lose a finger than an entire arm. Okay. And, we lost a couple fingers this week, but we still have our arm. Okay. And when this market finally decides to put in a bottom, we're going to be there with a ton of cash ready to buy. And we're going to make up not only the losses from this week, but way more, and continue to outperform this market because of our risk management rules. Okay. Risk management keeps you in the game and keeps you outperforming the market. So BA got stopped out. BA got stopped out. What else got stopped out? There's so many I can't remember, guys. It was a gory day, a lot of red, but yeah, that happens, like I said. However, we are already doing research for our plays next week. I'll go ahead and show them to you. It's seriously a mile long. This is all the names that are setting up. It's around 40 names. Okay. Obviously, we're not going to play them all, but that is the list that I currently have, and I'll need to sift through it and find the best of. And I'll have those trades posted to the Ready to Rock section of the website on Sunday. And when this market finally turns around and we start to break down trend lines, we're going to be ready to capitalize. Okay. That's the name of the game. Be ready when the market says it's time to go. And we're going to go ahead and prepare. We might have to wait longer. Okay. This might be a month to 2 month ordeal of red. We might have just started a bearish trend that will take us all the way down to 200 SMA on the Qs, the S&P, the IWM, the DIA. We might be in for it, but we also might have bottomed today. Okay, you never know. We might have bottomed today. Monday morning, we gap up, we break down trend lines, and then we start to head higher. You want to be ready to capitalize with cash on hand. When the market says it's time to go, you go and you beat this market. That's the name of the game. Risk management and preparation, and then you just execute your game plan. All the work comes in the preparation. The execution is then very easy. So that's what I'm going to do this weekend. I'm going to have you prepared, and we'll be back at it Monday, and we'll see what happens. Do we rally from here, or do we head lower? I think next week is going to answer that question for us. And either way, we're going to be ready. Okay. Any questions? Anna, you're the only one on. Any questions? Doesn't look like it. Oh, you want me to go over DraftKings? Sorry. DraftKings. Yeah, this one looks great. Above the 10 SMA, above the 200 is bull flagging right here. So I got next areas are 72, 74, and if it busts through that, 82. Those are my next two levels to sell into. I'm still holding a half position, and I have a 30% trailing stop on that half position because I bought down here. I bought down here on this retest, the 200 SMA. So I'm definitely in a lot of profits. And I think I actually sold up here around 63, my first chunk, my first half. And I'm just holding that half, hopefully to hit this 82 before my 30% stop is hit. If you wanted to add above today's high, is a good spot to do it. So above 62, 67, we get a close above that. That's a good point to add because, if we close above that, above this range right here, there's a good chance momentum comes into this name and goes these upper levels. So that's a good spot to add. Okay. So that's DraftKings, but definitely a good looking name. Good looking name with a very promising future as more and more states adopt sports betting. It's going to happen. It's going to be nationwide soon, with the exception of probably Utah, which is a Mormon state, and they don't believe in gambling, but I think every other state, you would be able to bet on any sport at any time, whenever you want, right on your phone. It's coming. Anything else? Let's just look at the Bitcoin real fast before we go. Falling a little bit. I bought a couple coins at 46,000, so a little red. But if this 43,000 can hold, I think we can head higher. If not, we're probably heading down to this 40,000, which I'm hoping will find a bottom and support, because this previous high was right around 42, and then we busted out of that 42 range with this candle right here. And usually when you get this type of high retest and then a bust out, this high right here becomes support. Okay, and if we lose this 40,000, it could be an ugly ride down to this 32,000. But I think the bulls come in and support between this 43,500 and 40,000. If not, right here at this 45,000. But somewhere in this range, I think we find support and head higher. I'm looking for a possible trip to 63,000, and then, you know, thinking a little longer term, 100,000. So we'll continue to watch this Bitcoin. As you know, Bitcoin never stops trading, so we can watch it all weekend. All right, that is the show. I will see you guys Monday morning, bright and early. Until then, don't trade for thrills. Just consistently make those dollar bills. See you guys.